take sun cream out of the operation, how are you going on holiday? You're gonna have an absolute time of it, aren't you?
I guess that's why people would walk around with parasols back in the day.
What an arsehole.
Is it parasol, not
No, sorry. I've been walking around with arseholes most of my life.
Lucky escape.
No matter what kind of gaming experience you're looking for, you'll find it and be continuously entertained at the Diamond
I don't think
Casino
sun cream
Resort.
well, a couple of things. I don't think sun cream gets its due. I think it's seen as like, sun cream, but like, bloody hell.
Sorry, okay. Point, actually. What do you mean it doesn't get its? You don't think the medical miracle it is? You don't think people are acknowledging that?
Where the fuck? It's insane how the sun cream's around, right? A. B.
It's got a song about it. That's a lot, that's more than most ointments.
Well, no, but are we talking about Tuesday? When don't you go to the shop?
Right, all right. That's very spotting.
It's
another night. Yeah,
when you go to the shop, buy something for your friend. I
think you might be. I'm talking about the Baz Luhrmann song. You're talking about a sad robot gives advice, which was the B-side.
I'd listen to that. It's a Radiohead song. Don't put your trainers on the wrong shoes. The robot's not great advice, but I'd love to hear it if Harry ever does like a graduation.
My mind's sleeping, Dave. I put my trainers on the wrong shoes.
For your auction, there's no sun cream for aluminium days. Anyway, so Baz Luhrmann, with that song, the point with that song is we needed a song to tell people to use it. Like that's also mental. Like, why aren't you just using it? Because so that's our problem. Is we don't appreciate it. We don't think we don't give it its dues. But also mental that it's needed. Like
yes, that's a very good point. Yeah,
it's like a fundamental, isn't it? It's like,
but is it because of the way we live that it's needed? I suppose it's not. No.
Good conversation, guys. You're listening to Clarky Works It Out. Clarky Works It Out.
Naturally, we might have just been. We would have spent more time outdoors and would be a bit more hardy to the elements, maybe. Like
a bit more Tom Hardy
to it. But that wouldn't stop the long-term effects. Well, also as well, back in the day, they didn't live very long, did they? So that's it. Didn't really matter.
Could be one of the reasons.
Of it. Yeah.
Imagine if you went on holiday to Egypt and sun cream hadn't been invented yet. Fucking hell. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course I know what you mean, of course.
You like what, parasail all day?
No, parasailing is a different thing as well. It's parasol. Tom, we're talking about an umbrella to shade yourself from the sun. Not parasailing, if anything, is to get you closer to the sun. I think it's
Icarus. Imagine going to Egypt and not parasailing. That's what I meant to say. Sorry.
Have you ever been? I've been paragliding. Never been paragliding. Oh, very, very exciting. Because 1 second you're on the beach, the next second you're like 100 feet in the air. Brilliant.
I think I get a bit nervous seeing so many videos of people getting like fall dragged along eventually come up.
Yeah, I didn't know about that. I did it on my beach holiday. Then I spoke to someone who actually lived in the place. It was Bali. So someone who actually lived in Bali was like, "You did what? That is one of the most dangerous things you can do." Because if the rope snaps, you're just straight down onto you climb it onto the sea, and it's like.
Are you like a human kite?
You are like a human kite, yeah. It's very. You imagine it's going to feel like really bracing, but actually feels incredibly. You feel completely weightless. It's amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
I've blown your mind.
What?
I can't believe the effect that this has had on you. You both look absolutely stunned.
Not sure what to say. Really. What are you?
What do I want you to say? Is that what you say? Okay, Crosby, you told us you've been parasailing. What the fuck do you expect us to say to that? Another one of your anecdotes that doesn't go anywhere at all.
Do you think if you were tied to Usain Bolt with paragliding equipment on, he could get you off the ground?
That is a good way, but he doesn't run that far, does he? And he runs 100 metres. Or does he run further than that?
Well, how you could do 200? You could take a 200,
Yeah.
Well, wait a second though, Crosby, because presumably, doesn't it go? It has to just be like acceleration. You're not dragged for 100 metres before you get to the air. Do you have to run a bit with it?
You run a little bit. You take. That's what's so brilliant as well. You take a couple of steps, and then the third step you take, you're in the air.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Okay, I've reworked it out now.
Okay.
What I'd like is like a little dog, like a chinchilla or something.
Yeah.
With paragliding equipment strapped to Usain Bolt, and he's got 200 metres to get the dog in the air, dog kite.
Yeah. That's
Usain Bolt and a dog. You give me Usain Bolt and a dog kite, and I'll give you the event of the year.
Yeah, a viral sensation. If you put that up on YouTube, that's going to blow Fenton out the water.
Beijing, if you're listening and you're struck, what can we do for our opening ceremony?
Oh yes,
Stick a little dog in a paragliding harness and get Usain Bolt to run into the stadium. Like up yours, Danny Boyle. That's how you do it. You know what I mean?
That will be so good.
And then the dog answer goes,
"Choose life." Wear sunscreen.
Sunscreen.
I think actually, the 100 metres should be a double event.
What? So what?
Everyone's got a chinchilla on their back, and you can win the race. But if that chinchilla's just being dragged the entire way along with you, you ain't getting the gold medal. But then if you win the race and the chinchilla's up in the air, double gold.
The race doesn't stop until the dog crosses the line.
Yes.
Right?
Presumably, if you're super good at,
Go on.
would you take off yourself?
Well, you're so fast that the wind picks you up as well.
Because that's kind of how people, if you're on the side of a mountain and you parasail.
Clarky works it out. Clarky works it out. I don't think if you run fast enough you'll take off.
No, that's not what it said. What if you're holding a parasol?
Okay. Want to take that bet, Parry?
Clarky, we know Clarky's got a balcony. He's going to go for it. If you had a parachute attached to you and you ran really fast,
kind of the size of the parachute as well.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a chinchilla parachute. If you've got a normal parasol parachute on, you run really, really fast, would you take off?
No, I think it'd slow you down.
It's like that people do it.
And then they do it in the labs again, in drag racing.
I've not seen RuPaul's show, but I imagine they have to try and get down the catwalk with a parachute on their back.
Very difficult in high heels.
But yeah.
And also, I think the dog people would have a word to say about it. It's basically like Olympics meets Crufts. It's like a one-off event, I think. But like,
So you're asking,
Wait a second.
is it cruel? Yes. Go on, sorry.
Why don't they have a dog Olympics?
isn't that what? I guess that isn't what Crufts is it?
No.
It's all about like, hey, your dog looks like a good. I don't particularly like the idea of them.
There's never a bit where like they say to Mo Farah, you have been the most obedient as well as the fastest.
Yeah. Now let me have a look at your arsehole.
It's funny isn't it with Crufts as well, because like Crufts is one of those events where it makes you realise no one you don't really know anything about dogs, because it's like they go, oh, look at that dog, and you kind of go, well, it's not a great dog, and then it's like, it turns out it's a great dog.
It's the best dog, yeah.
You're like, oh, that's the best dog. You're like, oh, well, it isn't. That dog's the best dog.
You know?
And it's like, oh, no, because it's got a knee, or so. I don't know, not that it's got a knee, but like, you know, it's the way it's got great knees or something. I don't know. I don't really watch Cross, but like, you know, like, you surprised me. And what's the last one? And you kind of go like, they walk along and go like, it's this dog. And you're like, oh, it's not. Everyone knows it's not that dog.
Tom, welcome to the world of me watching any sporting events. Yeah, of course. That is exactly what it's like for me watching, you know, go on, yes.
Well, there's like a subjectivity to the cross judging, whereas what Clark is suggesting is like sports, like, you know, a layman can watch some dogs race and go, that's a fast dog. He's like, oh, hang on, it's just great racing, isn't it?
Yeah,
actually,
yeah, that would exist. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the idea of dog racing is suddenly less. Well, you know, it's famously been done.
High jump again is they do that in Crufts. They do. So I think what we.
I know they've got the obstacle course bit. Do they literally do like who's going to jump the highest?
No, you're right. They don't do that. But then, isn't the high jump like? I mean, what would it be? I mean, I guess you'd have to just have somebody holding holding some treats kind of above their head. So you jump the first, like you keep increasing the height.
I mean, that's up to the owner to kind of figure that out. How they get the dog up there.
You put a little parachute on it and you run really fast, okay?
I don't think I'd leave it up to the owner because, you know, I think you need to leave it up to and I don't watch sport, but isn't there sort of like an association for most sports that determine the rules as opposed to whatever you want to do, guys? We've got 22 men out there playing football. Not one of them has played the same game. Surely we should...
The event you're suggesting is dog throwing, and that can't be allowed. How high can you get your dog? No one wants to see dog wang.
This is a fantastic example of dog catapult.
It's a bit cruel. I've got a question for you. It's a bit cruel.
It's a bit cruel.
Listen, guys.
Tagline, welcome to Dog Olympics. It's a bit cruel.
Imagine if the Beijing Olympics catapult a dog for their opening ceremony. There'd be an outcry.
You've had an extra year to plan this, guys. Come on.
We've got to think of a way to not like the Olympic torch.
It's not like The Apprentice where you're doing the pitch this afternoon. It's got a bit of time into it. Dog wagging shouldn't have even made it up onto the bloody flip chart.
There must be some incredible blue sky thinking that goes into those Olympic ceremonies. Like the first meeting. Like, there's going to be someone in that meeting who's a bit out of their depth. Do you know what I mean? He's like, oh God, I've been asked to go in for, they want ideas for the Olympic ceremony, and you kind of sat there. There's got to be at least one person who is less prepared than others, and a bit like, God, I'm really punched in getting this job.
Yeah.
And then like it comes to them, and just like there's got to have been some pretty, because like it's such, you get such carte blanche with the Olympic ceremonies. Like, that's the incredible thing. Is like anything goes, and yet some things really wouldn't go. There must have been some absolute swings and misses in those meetings.
It's a bit like when you pitch ideas for game shows. If you ever work on game shows, you know, pitch rounds for game shows. And you never, like, especially if it's a new show. Like there was one. I sort of forgot. I went to what the show was. I did one day and I never did another day on it. It hadn't gone out. They were sort of going, we don't know what the show is, but we're trying kind of everything. And then I got a...
Was this Flash S Lando?
It was Flash S Lando.
Sounds like Flash S Lando.
I got a text from the producer that evening saying, have you sent your ideas through? I haven't got it yet. And I thought it was the next day, so I had to then go, oh, no, sorry, bit of computer trouble. I had to then go and write all my ideas, and I was hammered as well. I was already...
You had to do like a day's work in half an hour.
I had to do a day's work in like... I did about 2 hours. I did a day's work. I sent it off at midnight, and I was pissed out of my mind. I'd never gone back and read the doc of what I sent. text back from the guy saying, you know, read these, great, you know, we'll give you a call. Just nothing. And I think, like, I imagine that is, like, there's going to be a guy like that on the Olympic Committee. He rocks up and he's like, he's forgotten his notes, or he's written a few things on his phone because he thinks it's a bit more of a kind of, hey, we're just going to spit more ideas around. And then people have got PowerPoint presentations, and he's stood up there. I think a specific example of that. I once went to a writer's meeting for a sketch show, and I'd forgotten my notes. I'd written the night before, I'd forgotten my notes, and so I asked my housemate to go on my laptop and email them to me, and then when I opened up the notes, there was just 2 words. All I'd written in my notes was 2 words. Vin Cheasel.
That's great.
It's not a bad idea for a sketch, actually, but... And also I'd said, my notes, I forgot my notes, so I'm getting them emailed to me. And then when I opened it, I was like, oh, no, I have to tell everyone. So quite a lot of it was, you know, you what you do in that instance is you really support other people's ideas. You be a big cheerleader for other people's ideas, trying to think of other things to say for that, and then you just hope it doesn't come round to you.
Okay, so that's okay. So the parade of countries, and everyone's got like globes for heads. Friend. Okay, that's great.
Excuse me.
What have you got for us?
Well, I mean, action movies have kind of never been bigger, really. You know, all of the blockbusters in the cinema seem to be like big action franchises.
Right.
Okay. And what I was thinking is, so basically the idea is that hang on a second, sorry, my phone's really playing up here. So the idea is the idea is he's an action hero, but he loves dairy. He loves
right.
So
what's this got to do with Beijing?
Definitely pushing it with
I think because of the sort of, it's a bit like, you know, like the bit in Rocky when he's like pounding a side of beef. This would be, he'd be punching like a dairily munchable.
Can I ask, did you miss breakfast?
I said it once before, but it bears repeating.
It's just the feeling of, oh God, I don't think I've got anything here. It's like, the other thing I can imagine, because like, you know, what was the last Olympics before London? They had like big, it's almost everything that's in the ceremony. I was watching going like, that's unbelievable. I've never seen that stuff happen before. I wouldn't know how to explain it to anyone. And also if I did, I can imagine them going, well, what are you on about? That couldn't exist. I don't know what the Olympics was, sorry. But they were doing like... It was Beijing, wasn't it? I think that's right. Like, it was London, it was Beijing, and the next one is... Tokyo?
Yeah. Tokyo, that's right.
That's like everyone doing, like, thousands of people in the middle of the arena with like, creating, like, amazing shapes and stuff. And you're just like, well, what are you on about?
Yeah,
What a heckle. Yeah, like, well, that doesn't exist. So how do you do it?
I guess, so is there a guy who sits there, because presumably you've got to get your creatives, but you've also got to get your techie guys as well. So the creatives go, right, we want all of the crowd to spell out, or to make the shape of the Olympic rings. Then the techie guy goes, yeah, we can do that. And then you go, right, we want, you know, like a robot that jizzes lightning, and they're like, we can't do that. That sort of thing.
Oh, but I know. That's who I am. I'm the guy who goes,
okay, you ready for this?
Then that's what I'm interested in. That's what I want. That's what I want to do. That's why they hire me.
There's a third guy. You're the third guy. There's a guy who comes up with the idea. The guy says the idea is unfeasible, and then the guy who denies the idea is unfeasible.
No.
You're sort of like the flat earther of the meeting.
No, I'm the guy with the pen and the whiteboard, right? I've got the cranes to the left of me, techies to the right. Here I am, in the middle, calling the shots, right? The creative goes, can the crowd spell the Olympic symbol? The techie guy goes, we can do that. And I'm like, well then I'm not interested. And then another guy goes, what about a god jizzes lightning into the shape of the Olympic rings? And the techie goes, we don't know how to do that. And I'm like, Then let's make that happen, guys. That's what's going to make Tokyo better than Beijing.
So you're the guy.
That's why we hired him.
Who slows everything down.
No, I'm the dare to dreamer. I'm the not going to be told you can't. You know, like one of those adverts. Like
Yeah,
I like one of those.
like a McDonald's advert, yeah.
Or like any advert.
This one's for the coppers.
It's kind of like
We're going to have people cobbling the Olympic sign. Any poem that has a "this is for" that in it is to them. Yeah, or it's for them. Like, this is for the brewers, or the lorry drivers, the hat tuners. You tune a hat.
But like, you know, do you not know, Tom? I mean,
Listen, if you can't tune a hat, then I want it in the advert.
do we need an episode of Parky Works It Out as to whether I can tune a hat? Do you know what? Actually, tune hats.
Hello, now we're talking.
It's quite a nice idea.
For the opening ceremony.
Yeah, that everybody like. So it's almost like they're like drum hats. And then people are playing, you know, they're playing them. Like, imagine, right, if when IK Brunel popped up, someone did a little drum on the top of his hat as well. You'd think that was fucking amazing.
Yeah, and then you can have other ones, you know, how like with the rim of a glass, you can rub your finger around and it makes a note. You have
Loads of different musical
doing
hats.
that.
They're
Yeah.
dancing. So like the dancers are wearing hats. They're dancing around, and above them on like a floating platform is people who can do the.
Oh, Tom, we can't do that.
Then that's what I want to see, baby. Oh my God!
Can I just ask what was the celebration there? Because
That was the road watchers in Lightning.
we can do it. It turns out. So Tom,
Turns out if you rub sun cream on the robot, it chooses lightning.
Tom, at what point in the process do you get on board with them being able to do it? Because if you say, so if they say, okay, right, we know you said, you know, but we know we said that it couldn't be done, and we've worked it out, and it turns out it can be done. Do you then go off the idea? In which case, then we never can have a ceremony.
No, my dream idea. It can't be done. Then let's make it happen. Oh God, we've made it work. And then it's like, don't tell anyone. Save the surprise.
Oh right, I thought you meant we've made it work, but we're not going to include it in the ceremony.
Oh no.
We just do it, yeah. Don't tell
We're all
anyone.
about making the impossible possible and then keeping the impossible on the down low. That's the plan.
Do you think in the Olympic ceremony by the way, we always talk about the Olympic ceremony. It doesn't feel like there are certain things that for us are just real cultural touchstones. And I think it is because it was the last time anything good happened in the world.
Yeah. Yes.
But yeah, so the Olympic ceremony, do you think they had a good dress rehearsal? Because like that sort of stuff done in the, it's a bit like when we write sketches. You know, the sketches that we think are going to be amazing, put on stage, and they change context in front of an audience and are often the worst sketches. And then the ones we're like, oh, maybe this is going to work, and then they put it in front of an audience and it comes alive. It must have been really, like the whole, because they presumably they had to do a full run-through of the ceremony, at the very least once through the night before.
So what we're looking for is footage of Olympic ceremony dress rehearsals.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Can I just imagine them kind of walking around the sports hall, just like, you know, with no costumes.
Yeah,
They're
just doing in jeans.
Yeah, they'd be shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we doing? It'd be a bit like being in an art attack, you know, like until you can see the helicopter shot. And you're like, this guy's lost his fucking mind.
By the way, also I love the fact that the helicopter shots.
It's actually a chinchilla on a parachute.
I tell you, they usually set them up with
a GoPro. We put a GoPro on a chinchilla and then we run for our fucking lives.
Also, as well, the other reason it couldn't be a helicopter is because if you've just laid a load of bran flakes on the floor to make the Mona Lisa, the last thing you want to do is have rosary blades going off. Poor old Neil Buchanan. He's like, guys, There's got to be an easier way. Surely you helicopter out of here. Have we not got a crane for this camera? I mean, we got a massive print stick. It doesn't need to be shot from fucking space, does it? It just needs to be. I mean, 4 foot up would be fine as long as you can just get the engine in. It's
Also, very dangerous to fly a chinchilla next to a helicopter. That is not the end of the opening ceremony that we want. Olympic opening ceremony dress rehearsal is a really good name for an album.
the Olympic opening ceremony dress rehearsal.
Not bad, is it?
It's long.
Like the album.
It's value for money, I'll say that much.
Yeah, well, look, I think the reason we talk about it a lot is because we all know it's our dream gig. And I think if you talk about something long enough, then you shall make it happen.
Yeah.
So, you know.
I think as well, you know, obviously we conquered the world of 3 men on stage, right? We absolutely nailed it.
Completed it.
We completed it. We typed our initials into the end of sketch comedy and got out of the game. It was good.
Before we start making any money.
But now, like, I think we got to a point that could be realised by 3 men. We needed a stadium. We needed big crowds. We needed technology. You know.
We were always doing stadium sketch comedy, just, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Ironic.
Yeah,
not what they wanted to sell them out. Our eyes were too big for our belly. Laughs.
That's not a bad not a bad
Album
name.
title.
Not a bad name for an Edinburgh show for anyone who's got really big eyes.
That's my last time.
My eyes are too big for my belly laugh. If there are any young comics out there with big eyes, really big bug eyes, great to get into comedy as well, because it's you know, it's always good to have a funny look, you know. But call your debut show. My eyes are too big for my belly laughs, and you know what? You've got 3 guys who will happily come along to that show.
Are you a budding Marty Feldman? Get in touch, and we will take your career from strength to strength.
Exactly. Yes. Are you the next Marty Feldman? Send us an email.
We want the... Are you fast? Have you got bug eyes? Can you play a tin hat? Get in touch! These are the coordinates. Can you make the impossible possible? Any of these things, get in touch. We want you for our new Edinburgh show. To the 200-seater, we sold 30 tickets.
How long was the opening ceremony? It was over an hour, wasn't it?
It was 2 weeks in my head.
It was a long old ceremony. Do you reckon if you did a sort of opening ceremony at the Edinburgh Festival, people would want to go and see it? Do you think if there's an opening ceremony to an event that doesn't exist, people would actually want to see it?
What's the event?
You just call it the opening ceremony. You let people,
okay.
You let people decide that themselves, and it's called. It's the opening ceremony, and the final line. The final line of the show is "Let the games commence." Blackout.
Yeah, I like that.
As long as you, I mean, if you know what you're working towards, an Edinburgh show writes itself, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. There you go. That's all you need is one simple concept.
That's a good idea, actually.
We shouldn't put this out.
No, we shouldn't. Let's
all those young whippersnappers sketch groups of the day.
Enormous eyes.
The big-eyed cunts who've just got that reverse.
Big-eyed open spot. They got big eyes.
Have you seen the big-eyed open? Have you seen the big-eyed open spots? 4-piece. Very good. Very funny. A couple of them were in the tea lights.
Very funny. Schrodinger's cat sketch to die for.
Well, to die for or maybe not. You don't know. What's going in?
It's going in.
The ridge roll. The idea that still keeps keeps me up at night is that time in Brighton we attempted the Jekyll and Hyde sketch.
Without being written.
Yeah.
I mean that entire show was pretty torturous stuff.
Yeah, the Jekyll and Hyde sketch. Now, as I remember it, you had what was it?
I was thinking of a different time in Brighton actually, but now I remember.
Most of our Brighton shows,
We've always tagged teams, right? So.
that feeling in your brain, like I think when I look back on our sketch comedy career, the overwhelming feeling that comes back is looking at a piece of A4 paper on a wall. Like in a dingy corner with sharpies, like a corner that smells of like beer and vomit, and looking at a piece of paper and thinking, oh god, this isn't really a thing, and then just stepping out into lights in front of people and having to try and do that thing, hearing one of us introduce it. Yeah, I'd be like, why you're desperately like sweating, trying to pull on some ridiculous costume, and basically go, like, this costume, if they don't find this costume funny, that's pretty much the only thing about the sketch so far.
Yeah. And also, as well, the thing with the costume is, it always shows work. It shows effort. And effort's not great for costumes. You know what I mean? Like what they try really hard. Yeah, what they sort of say about the great is it looks so effortless. And you see Billy Connolly walk out onto stage. It just seems like he starts talking. 2 hours later, you've laughed your head off, and he's wandered off and gone, well, that seemed like, I couldn't quote a line back to you because it was so effortless and conversational that he made us laugh like great. If a guy wanders out onto a stage with a denim jacket that they're sewing various cuddly toys onto, you think this better be fucking good. Because look at what they've done here. What these cunts have done. This was £6 to get in. Oh my God. £6.
That's a good title for an Edinburgh show. Look at what these cunts have done.
Look at this guy coming out here talking about action films, holding 5 different types of cheese. What the fuck is going on?
Is that a cuddly dog he's got tied to his back? That is exactly the kind of helium balloon on.
Exactly the kind of shit we would have done as well. Like, oh, let's have one of our props be a lot of cheese.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
In a bag.
Well, I did, didn't I? I had in my last stand-up show, I did weightlifting with cheese. There's something about cheese I find funny. I don't know. I've never quite managed to make it work, but I'm always trying. So I did weightlifting with baby bells and pencils, dumbbells, and then left the no, I thought it was alright. Yeah, I left my suitcase of cheese under my house, and then went off on holiday. So effortless. It's true, actually. It didn't seem like those were very heavy cheese, but they really were.
And left the cheese under the house and went off to Bali for some paragliding.
Yeah, I know. And then came back, nice, baby, mate.
What? Imagine if it was a film, that's the moment you realise that the cheese was
cheese get up in the air.
Get me down, get me down! The cheese is in the house!
Credits. Over the credits, a big fat mouse eating himself to death.
Maybe that's the opening ceremony. Sorted.
Yeah, and then so I would realise I'd go, the cheese is in the house, and turn the camera, let the games commence. and then I'd take the guy, floor it, and he would paraglide me all the way back to his head.
It's David Beckham in a speedboat.
Beckham in a speedboat, paragliding me to Penge.
Got it. That's the show.
Yeah.
The show.
He looks up, what's this cunt done now?
Grunt impressions. Let's see the bleaching. Let the games commence indeed. Listener dear, if you enjoyed that episode, then please leave us a review on iTunes, share it with friends, hop on the Patreon and join the community. We're putting out a lockdown episode every weekday, so get the damn thing.
get on board that train for $5 a month. You get all the content you could ever need from us.
Yeah, patreon.com/ps4pro. The apps are really fun. We have done over 40 of them, so yeah, pretty exciting. Pretty exciting, guys.
Including the often obscene non-sex shakedown.
We do a sexy episode. Every 10 episodes we do a sexy episode. Just got 1 hour. Very sexy.
The least sexiest guys in the world do the most sexiest content in the world.
Right, this episode was produced by en4cer666.
Caution.
Stay tuned for the Patreon Neighbourhood Watch roll call. Cheers, everyone. Bye.
Be upstanding, be upstanding. Will you please upstanding? It's time for the Neighbourhood Watch roll call. Everybody be upstanding. Standing. Everybody be upstanding. It's time for the Neighbourhood Watch call. Everybody, hello, everybody.
Hello, mates. Thanks for being upstanding with the Neighbourhood Watch. Hello. I've seen him now.
You've seen him now, have you?
I just realised the thing I was going to say, I've seen him now, I've seen him then, but that doesn't quite right.
I'll do it. Do you know what? If you're saying that doesn't right, then we're in loads of trouble, mate.
We're in trouble.
You're through to your garage. You, need me to bring you a ride?
Anyway, we've seen him now, we've seen him then. It's Josh M.
I'll bring it by.
Listen, I saw him with a gentleman, I saw him with a lady. That man will hang out with everyone. His name is Phil Wadey. Be upstanding, be upstanding. Everyone be upstanding.
Oh, I've seen her. Oh, he's seen her.
Oh,
hello.
I've seen her. I've seen her come. I've seen her go. Oh, no.
I'll go ahead and say that's not starting to rhyme then.
I just started talking, didn't I?
I liked it very much though, nevertheless. Right, who have you seen?
I've seen that.
Who have you seen?
I've seen that. She's loads of fun. It's Lindsay Robertson.
Oh,
Be
upstanding. Oh, right, oh, you're speaking. Okay, yes. I'll tell you what.
Oh, yeah.
I tell you what, he's been in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
He's been in trouble. He's a naughty face, this one. He's a naughty face. You know, I've seen him detained in the penal colony.
Oh, yeah.
That's right, it's Jamie Connolly.
Be upstanding, be upstanding.
Everybody be upstanding.
Be upstanding. Oh, I saw him drunk. I've seen him have a lovely time. I've seen him go all spinny. He likes to be on the dance floor. His name is John McQueenie. Be upstanding, be upstanding. Everybody be upstanding. Be upstanding, be upstanding. Everybody be upstanding. Oh, I've seen her next to the sea. I've seen her on the beach. She always brings a lovely windbreaker because it's Loz Whittaker. Be upstanding, be upstanding. Everybody be upstanding.
Hello, everyone. Oh, I've seen him up the tree. I've seen him in the ditch. Everybody knows his name is Paul Smith.
Everybody upstanding. Everybody be upstanding. Well, that concludes this week's Neighbourhood Watch Patreon roll call. Be upstanding. What? What was that, man?
Well, I said be upstanding.
Be upstanding.
Oh, right, yeah. I said hello. Everybody. Be upstanding, everybody be upstanding. And goodbye. And I love you.
What?
I love you.
I love you too. Be upstanding. Ønsker du dig en streamingtjeneste, som har et stort udvalg af de bedste nordiske og britiske krimiserier, så er Seymour streamingtjenesten for dig. Oplev den hæsblæsende action-drama-serie Gangs of London og glæd dig til en helt ny sæson den 22. november. Kun på Seymour. Besøg seymour.dk eller ring på 70 10 0205 og få de første 14 dage for 0 kroner. Greetings, listener dear! It's that time again where we get to say, whoa, yeah, hey, baby, we're inside your ear canal.
Whoa, yeah, hey, baby, here we are, and we're doing it now.
Oh, well, yeah, baby, thanks for joining the show. I'm Tom! I'm Ben!
And I'm Matthew, and welcome to a lovely episode of Pappy's Flatshare Beef Brothers Cold Cuts.
Beef brother sorting out your beef. Beef
Cold
closed.
That's almost a jingle, yeah. So, welcome to the show, everybody. We've got a fantastic guest in Josie Long today.
Oh, long time friend, first ever chance to say hello. Sorry, I minded of it.
It's all right. Please don't worry about it, Tom. But the show itself turned out great. Don't be dissuaded by the fact that we're all falling apart.
I think I very much clocked off when the recording finished.
Well, the recording hasn't finished, Tom. That's the problem. Yes. So anyway, we had a lovely chat with Josie, and you can listen to that in just a second. But we would like to remind you that we're doing a live Flatshare Slam Down over Zoom. We've done two already. They've been really, really good fun, and you can watch it live on the internet if you go to eventbrite.co.uk. And you look for Pappy's Flatshare. We've got two amazing guests this time around.
We have, yes, we've got Dara O'Brien and the brilliant Sophie Duca. It's going to be a real treat. It's on the 8th of July.
And tickets are a £5, but if you work for the NHS, they are completely free. And if you are a member of our Patreon, they are also discounted. So a great reason to join the Patreon, patreon.com/Pappy's Flatshare. And just a great reason to see us all through your computer screen.
Yes, and if you haven't joined the Patreon, then we're also putting out 4 episodes a week. Every day of the weekday you're getting content during lockdown, so please join the Patreon community. That's at patreon.com/Pappy's, probably. Is it Pappy's?
No, it's not Pappy's probably, it's Pappy's Flatshare.
Yeah, there you
But,
go.
there you go. If you search Pappy's Flatshare on any of those things, you'll find it. Or if you go to our Twitter, there's always, I'm always trying to plug it there. Oh, I tell you what, Tom, I've just remembered I've got a special treat for you.
Oh, really?
I've got a real treat for you, Tom. Now, a regular contributor to the Patreon, Dr. Zapzen Klaxenhorn, very good friend of Brian Shelf, if you're familiar with Brian Shelf, he got in touch to say that he has done a remix. You know, in the house meeting last episode, you were talking about the house music going in your imagination.
Oh, yeah, I was, yeah.
Well, Tom, listen to this.
Weirdly, like, with the production levels in my head, the sound of Ibiza in the summer. This is the raw stuff. Steady on queen. This is the stuff like DJ Shadow coming off mic 2. This is the raw stuff. This is the stuff like DJ Shadow. Oh my god, the bass. Oh my god. And then the hi-hat. And then the hi-hat. Oh my god, it's extraordinary.
Right?
Oh.
I mean, we're listening to this on what would have been Glastonbury weekend, but I felt like I was there.
Yeah,
I felt like I was deep in Shangri-La there, you know. That's something else, isn't it?
Can we play out the episode of that?
Oh yeah, we'll stick it at the end as well. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're now going to go into the actual feature of the show. It's going to seem very sedate compared to that.
Well,
Thank you very much, Dr. C. That is great work. Just enjoy this episode now with Josie Long.
Well, Kim, you got a problem, call it a problem. You got a problem, call it a problem. You got a big you help me move on from a Sonic, how you feeling?
Right, well, thank you so much for coming on the show, Josie.
It's my pleasure. Have we started?
Yeah, let's start. Let's call this start.
Great. How are you?
I'm really good, thanks very much. Yeah, how are you? How are you doing with lockdown?
Well, we're in a very weird place at the moment, aren't we? It's sort of betwixt between. Because it's like the threat is still there, but everyone is pretending it isn't. So it's an interesting time for us all. I'm really fine. I can't complain. But I will now.
Are you being? Would you put yourself on the cautious end of the spectrum instead of going around in a boat?
Yeah, we're not doing anything extra. I mean, she does go to nursery, so that might define us as incautious. But we think that's where she gave it to us from in early March. So we're a little bit like, it's obviously been all round. So
you've had it already.
We think we have. Obviously, we didn't get a test though. But
no.
my breathing is still impaired. So
it does sound like the dreaded coronavirus, doesn't it? Oh my God. Well, I'm glad you're safe now. I'm glad you're all right. And yeah, because that's the thing with a little kid is you can't get them to social distance, can you?
And also, it's really hard to teach them because you don't want to permanently teach them. You don't want to be saying to them, listen, it's really important. You want to be like, we're just playing this game where it's like, I mean, she did get very, very confused when we were finally allowed to kind of see people at distance again. So she'd not seen anyone for like 3 months or something like that. And it was quite upsetting for her suddenly to see people again. She was really like, it's almost like she was like, what the fuck, were you just lying to me the whole time then? Like, why is this happening?
There are people out there. They don't just exist on Zoom. Yeah, I mean, getting confused, you can't really blame her, because I think literally everyone in the country is confused about it. Like, no one knows, are we supposed to still wear masks? I've heard we are, but then I went to Tesco yesterday and no one was bothering. It's just, it's like, I don't know, like, what are we supposed to do?
Also, I think the mask thing, because people know that the most effective thing it does is stop you transmitting it, as opposed to stop you getting it. If you're a selfish person, you're like,
I don't have it. Yeah, I don't have it.
Wait, hang on a second, it doesn't stop me getting it. Well, fuck the mask. Why am I wearing a mask the entire time? Now I find out.
I do not find wearing a mask a bit cool. Like that.
A bit.
Like
mask and sunglasses on, yeah.
I hate it.
I'm like the invisible man.
Mask, sunglasses, headphones.
Yeah.
I got a cool mask. Yeah, my mom bought me like a cool mask the other day. It's like a wolf's mask, and it's got like the shape of a slight design of a wolf on it, and like the wolf logo. And now I feel like I'm stepping out. I feel like I've got a new pair of sunglasses.
I'm never going to get into mask fashion unless you are winning it with everything else you're wearing, and then divine.
I'm treating it like a punch drunk installation, and just like wandering around like I've got like carte blanche. Just trying to walk into people's houses. That's great, guys.
You've got to stop dragging people down an alleyway and delivering one box to them, right?
No, I never will. I never will.
That's the fear we've got now.
It's true. I was thinking about this the other day. Now, I don't know if this is the case, but, you know, bingo halls are open. Right?
Yeah.
Can we just rebrand comedy nights as bingo nights?
I mean, we were barely passing for comedy anyway. I think a shift into being bingo callers isn't a bad shape for us anyway.
And I make the point that I thought that the reason they weren't letting people do theatre was because they couldn't be liable for performers. But a bingo caller, that's a performer.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? The bingo callers are sick and tired of people not acknowledging that, so they'll be really... The Bingo Callers Association will be delighted with this episode.
Well, the BCA?
No, the BCA.
We are sponsored by the BCA, by the way. Yeah.
Can I be controversial here? I know the BCA won't thank you for this, but can they, in Mecca, for example, or other countries, can they, in bingo halls, can they have an automated bingo caller these days? So is that on a big screen?
Oh,
There's like a kind of Barry Scott figure who just appears as a hologram in every bingo school. Bingo. Yeah.
Bang!
It just says bang for every
22.
number. Yeah.
Bang! He's got one catchphrase for every number. Bang, bang, bang! 3.
Oh, you don't want to be getting into that.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to get to 99. Oh,
bang, not finished. Bang.
If we could add an element of bingo into our shows anyway, though, it would probably improve them.
Yeah, I think
bingo would improve pretty much anything. If you said, like, during my routine, someone's going to win 25 knicker, I think people would, like, really get involved, wouldn't they?
Absolutely.
You know, especially if it was at random. Because it's really luck, isn't it, bingo? It's not skill, it's just luck.
Whoa, the bingo won't like that.
Whoa.
It's a sport, and